Okay. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. this is your PhD candidate, Dr. Tara N. Harper. Okay, so I'm up late. It's almost 11:30 at night. This is December 26th, the day after Christmas. My husband and I took a wonderful vacation to Nashville. Um, I was dealing with a lot of health issues and going. I later found out Christmas Eve that it could highly possibly be pilonidal cyst. It's not evident on the outside, it's evident on the inside. So it makes it hard for me to want to sit back straight. It makes it hard, uh, put me in a position where I have to kind of sit up from sitting back and feeling that pressure on my nerve. It makes my butt hurt really bad. And so when I get up to walk, it hurts to get up because the pressure of my naturally big butt draws down on that pilonidal Nile cyst. So that's something that my PA told me about because I told her what I was battling with. And then also, um, that's something I have to battle with next week, where they have to go in outpatient wise, and I have to do a CT scan to find exactly where it is, so they can go in and absorb it and get rid of the infection, so I can stop feeling this pain. I've already had physical therapy trying to get my tailbone adjusted. So I went there. They went in my anal and readjusted my tailbone because I did fall back in 2022. Was it 2023? One or the other. I did fall, and later on, sometimes you may not feel it until much later, and that may have been part of my happenstance. I don't know. And I'm also just kind of recognizing the fact that my dad had a tumor found in his lower tailbone. How we found out he had lung cancer because it traveled from his lung um, all the way down to his tailbone. So in situ means in diagnosis codes. It means it was found in one place, but it travels in another place. So they did find nodules in my dad's lungs, but the telltale sign of the infection of the cancer traveled to his tailbone. So they had to go in and carve out a lot of the infection from the tailbone. But being that he was stage 3, when they opened it up, not knowing you don't open up the cancer, you carve around it so many diameters and remove it. But when you open up the cancer tumor or the cancer nodule and it's air exposed to the air, it only spreads it so fast and it metastasizes so fast that you will die sooner than what you're supposed to. Okay. Or sooner at all, as to opposed to living lifelong chronically with a condition, but at least you're still living, right? Okay, so I'm real conscious of that because I'm a breast cancer survivor. My cancer was uh, stage 2A. I thought it was always stage 2B, but it's stage 2A. And I am HER positive. So I can't have a lot of tofu or estrogen type foods, or I guess you could say drinks or whatever like that, because too much estrogen will cause a relapse for me. And that's why I had all my girls taken, my uterus, my ovaries, everything taken, because that was still producing estrogen. And still, after that has gone, my adrenal glands still produce estrogen, and me being a thick girl, which I'm not as thick as I once was because I was 415 pounds, I'm now down to about 230, something like that, 229. So I'm doing good. I had the bariatric surgery. I had the dual dental switch, which is the most stringent of all the surgeries, in 2014. And the first time I had the sleeve done, September 2009. I lost weight. I lost 90 pounds. Uh, September 21st, 2009. But then 3 years later, I gained it all back because of breast cancer and chemo for 4.5 months, and it had a lot of prednisone in it. steroids. And so no matter how much steroids was in it, I just wasn't wanting to eat anything, but I had to eat something because if I was losing weight and not eating anything, then to my dietitian, that's like a no-no and that's a danger sign. So long story with that. My body has been through a lot. Okay, so I am the one and only education prophet, Dr. Tara N. Harper, PhD, Healthcare Administration, your healthcare consultant. Revenue cycle management is what I flow in. I do very well with my eyes closed. Hello, I find your money. Find your money. Come on, physicians, talk to me. I find your money. Okay, so I'm out of that now. So let's talk about my fecal microbial transplant that I had done within the 8 o'clock hour of Christmas Eve. I just got back home the day before, late that afternoon, tired as all get out, had to fast. I couldn't hardly eat anything. I had to be careful what I drink. Everything had to be either broth or lemonade or water. Nothing red, no Kool-Aid that's red, every other color but that. So anywho, um, I was nervous because I had to do an enema that night before I went to bed and do another enema like an hour before I leave my house. So I did that. My husband had to do the second one. I tried to do the first one myself. It just wasn't happening. But he did the second one. And he kind of shoved it up in there. I didn't like that. And I'm like, you need a better bedside manner if you're going to be my nurse. Because just being rough with me and stuff, that ain't going to help, bro. So I told my PA when I got to the office that what my latest experience was. And I said, please kind of numb me back there. I don't want to feel the pressure. And I told her what I was experiencing from what my husband did. So that I'm kind of a little mental trauma, before I go to the place, blah, blah, blah. And she did. So it took about 15, 20 minutes. It comes in a pack. And some kind of way they kind of thin it out. I don't know what they do in the process of collecting good, healthy fecal matter, but from humans. This is not from animals. This is from humans, okay? It should only be from another human, not an animal, okay? And so as they put that in, I'm feeling the pressure and I'm like, God, help me, help me, help me. I mean, I could feel it kind of cold going into my colon. I could feel it in my lower colon. I was laying on my left side so that it'll be better received that way. They say I could lay on either side, but I always felt and known from teaching anatomy physiology that laying on the left side, even when you're coughing or choking or having a heart issue, laying on your left side is the best side. Even from getting heartburn, if you go to bed with a full stomach, you're not supposed to lay on your left side so it'll digest and stay in your stomach. Anyway, so, she put it in. I had to wait about 15, 20 minutes, make sure nothing spews out. They put not a syringe, some cloth, a surgical cloth back there. And I got dressed and I was telling her about my pain in my tush where the butt crack is. And she said, oh, that's pyoneal, blah, blah, blah. I said, oh my God, can that be fixed? She says, yes. She said, we'll tackle that next week. Thank you. So long story with that. So I finished. And after I finished, I said, okay, so what happens to me now? What do I do after I've had this procedure done? And she says, okay, you can go back to eat as normal. You can drink normal, all these things. Of course, me being an intercessor, a praying woman, a prophet of the Lord, of course, me being in that situation, it helped me. It helped me know that, I listen to what God tells me. I honor the physician assistant. I honor my doctors. I do. But sometimes if I'm a little questionable, I'll be like, no, Lord, what you think about what she just said? And so by that token, the Lord would tell me, go slow. So usually when you do a church fast, things of that nature, you always want to slowly go back into foods that are soft, brothy, that kind of a thing, right? And so I was like, okay, what do I want to eat now? My husband brought me a sausage, egg, cheese biscuit from Mickey D's and a hash brown. I am not a Mickey D's person for breakfast at all. If you're gonna give me breakfast, I really would prefer Whataburger because I know they stuff is like good and fresh, and I can enjoy it because I love Whataburger breakfast. I love Whataburger, period. All this stuff. I just love Whataburger. So I had to settle and eat that because I had to go to dialysis a little bit earlier than normal. Christmas Eve, everybody want to go home. Okay. Because I go to dialysis Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Okay, so did that. And then time I got out, I'm like, I want me some like roast beef, pot roast with some cabbage, stuff like that, some greens, something. And I wanted it from Cracker Barrel, but my husband had already bought me some fried chicken from Popeyes. And I'm like, I really don't want to eat that. And I had to tell him that. And it's like, honey, I appreciate you buying me that, but I'm trying to go back to normal eating from fasting for 24 hours. So I want to take my body slow into the process, not fast. Okay, so I ended up ordering Chinese food. I ordered a house wonton soup. I ordered Mongolian chicken with extra onions and bell peppers. It was good. I had some Chinese chicken fried rice. It was good too. It was just a lot. And when you're hungry, sometimes you order too much. And I should have just said, give me some soup and the chicken fried rice. But I had to have that. So, anywho, I had the soup. It was good, but I couldn't taste anything. Why? Because I was sick at the previous dialysis place in Nashville where we vacationed. And the moment I walked in, it was like something just got into my nose. Like I breathed something in accidentally. And from that point on, I was infected and sick. I can always tell if I breathe something in, oh my God, what did I do? What did I do? I'm going to get sick, And I try not to panic. I calm down, but still, I got sick. So all on the plane, crowded up. I'm trying not to sneeze. I'm trying not to, do anything that make people know that I'm sick because I don't want them to get paranoid sitting that close to me. And so, did that. So right after the transplant, I had my house wonton soup and some chicken fried rice, which was fine. I couldn't taste anything. I stayed home for Christmas. I tried to cook some things. It just wasn't satisfactory. So I threw out a lot of food that I had cooked. I made some spaghetti with meat sauce. I accidentally put Italian dressing mix in it, thinking it would taste good. Mm-mm. Threw that out. It tasted like peppermint to me, and I was like, "Dang it, I can't eat this." So I took some meatloaf that I had done, some turkey meatloaf, and did some brown onion gravy with some rice. I said, I said, God, this tastes gritty. This don't taste right. I threw that out. I said, God, I'm just throwing out a lot of food. Please forgive me. I don't mean to waste food. Please forgive me, Father. So I said, you know what? I'm just gonna go to bed. So my husband, I don't know. I think he brought me home something. I can't remember. And it was late. That's what it was. He got home late from the Christmas dinner at the family on his side of the family. And I said, I'll eat that later, when I'm awake at 2 and 3 and I'm hungry. I said, I'll eat that later. I can't eat right now. I'm too sleepy. And I took tizanidine and I'm woozy with some gabapentin and I'm just in not any shape to get up out this bed without stumbling. So I waited. I did get up 2 and 3 in the morning, try to eat the dressing. It tastes like peppermint. I mean, it was like everything I tasted, it tastes like peppermint. I said, what is this? Who messed up the dressing? The dressing wasn't messed up. It was me. I didn't realize that till we went out to a barbecue joint and I ordered me a good old tasting hamburger and my fries. And then I said, God, this French fries taste minty. Why? Why? I'm getting angry. And I'm like, dang it. So I'm like, okay. It's not the food, Tara, it's you, and you had a microbial transplant given to you. And whatever was in the fecal matter, it's in your system now. So if somebody really like peppermints or spearmint, that's where that's coming from. It's a long story. And, I went on a food rant today. I bought me a nice cheeseburger from Papa's. I only took about 3 or 4 bites and I was done. Um, I went to Cleburne's and bought me a whole half a chicken with some dressing and gravy and a quart of beef noodle soup. I haven't tried the beef noodle soup. It looks very good. But I tried the dressing. I said, dang, the dressing tastes minty. I said, okay. And I had to apologize to my husband because I was like, and I'm just going to be real, not a racist. I'm just going to be real. I'm like, what white person to me cook this darn dressing? We don't put spearmint in no or peppermint in our dressing. I'm just fussing and I'm telling my husband, I'm from Louisiana. My mother's from Louisiana. I got my Creole roots from her. How I was just throwing off fits, just throwing off fits. And I had to say, baby, I'm so sorry. That was not your tree. I'm tasting the dressing from Cleburne's, and I know how they dressing should taste because it's close like my mom's. I said, and it tastes like peppermint. I said, I am so sorry. So anyway, that way I sample some more. I eat some of their baked chicken. Love their baked chicken. Um, and I said, okay, God, you're gonna have to help me because I can't help if everything tastes like peppermint. And it's okay, but it's not helping me in my eating, right? So I have to kind of fix my mind. Sometimes even after dialysis, my taste buds get turned, where stuff don't taste the same. They don't taste quite right because dialysis cleaned out my blood so well, hemo wise, that stuff don't taste right. And sometimes I have to wait a whole nother day or the day of dialysis for me to try food. And it's like, oh my God, everything tastes so good again. Oh my God. And if you catch me on a good day eating, I'm having a good day. But for most days, I'll eat one meal a day and that's all I want. And I know I got to get better with it. I'm working with my dietitian. She's helping me. However, Christmas went well. I was still tasting mint. Today is the third day, the 26th. And I'm still tasting minty stuff. I'm like, dang, I didn't even brush my teeth. And it tastes minty. So I got to talk to my PA about that. I got to get some truth on that because it just don't sound right, right? So I decided, let me create a vlog because folks that need to know about fecal microbial transplant, they need to know from a patient standpoint to me what they're experimenting, what they're feeling. Has my attitude changed? No. Am I a lot calmer than going off being a sister girl, 3 snaps up and 3 snaps down, telling you off? That part hasn't changed. You know, although I'm a nice person, but till you press the wrong button, you're gonna find out. You're gonna find out, and I'm not gonna play with you when you find out. I don't do anything belligerent. I just kind of sit you in your place and tell you don't do that. However, so I feel okay. I feel fine. I'm realizing I had bad headaches Christmas Eve night. I had real bad headaches Christmas Day. And I'm always having like tension around the neck, up and around here, and the back of my head back here. And so I have to take high dose kind of migraine grain medicine like rizatriptan, stuff like that, amitriptyline, stuff like that to kind of help with those migraine issues, and some tenazidine that kind of helps relax the muscles around my neck. So, but yeah, today I felt fine. My husband cooked me scrambled eggs, pan sausage, and biscuit, and it was great. I didn't eat very much of all of it because it wasn't exactly what I wanted. I'm not a huge breakfast person, unless you're serving fried chicken, grits, and some good hash browns. Yeah, that kind of brunchy breakfast kind of thing. Yes, I will eat that because I'm a lunch girl. I'm a lunch and dinner girl, but I'm mostly a lunch girl. Okay, and I can eat lunch or dinner for breakfast. I am happy like that. But today I didn't have much of a headache today on day 3. I didn't feel any different. I didn't feel sluggish. I feel great. I feel better. My poop is back to pebbles now. For a while with this C. diff, it was runny. I had a lot of blood coming out of my intestines. Um, I was always dealing with hemorrhoidal issues. So some of that kind of, got infected. And it's not that I'm not a clean person. I mean, I have my cleaning lady. She just cleaned my house today, dust and all. And I'm telling you, it looks immaculate. I came home tonight and it looks like a hotel. So I love to treat myself once a month to that. That's just me. I don't have any kids, so I can do that for me. Okay. And my husband appreciates it too. So it's a perk for him too. Um, so I don't feel bad. I feel like I got a little bit more energy than normal. I mean, it's 11:48. I'm usually knocked out in the bed. 8, 9 o'clock. I'm knocked out. But my neurologist was telling me you go to bed too early. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm 56. What's wrong with going to bed at 8, 9 o'clock? He said, no, you need to stay up till 11 or 12. That's when you do your best sleep. I use a CPAP machine. I'm still trying to understand the CPAP world. I've been on CPAP since 2009. It's gotten better though. Respite air or rest air or something. I put it through my nose and it slowly comes on. It's not so like, in your face. I don't like that. I like it to slowly come on. Tease me coming on slowly and quietly. And then stay quiet the whole while because it's fitting my nasal properly. And I use a small. I can't use large. I know some people that have to have large nasal things for their CPAP, but I don't. I use small because my nose is small. See, but I do feel a lot energy when I use my CPAP. I will say that, but I feel a lot more energy now. I mean, I'm surprised I am still up, but everything still tastes like I just brushed my teeth and it tastes minty in my mouth. And I know I've eaten 3 or 4 bites of my cheeseburger. I know I've eaten 3 or 4 bites of my baked chicken and dressing. I just been on a food rant because I'm like, I need satisfaction. I need taste and tummy satisfaction. And I'm not gonna go to bed without it. So I've already understood now it's not the food, it's you, Tara. It's you. And you have to constantly adjust to this FMT. I'm like, okay. So that's all from me. I just wanted to share my personal experience. I think it's a good thing. Who knows? It may even help with my kidneys, and that would be a plus blessing altogether. And I'm praying that my kidneys will just wake up, and the GFR would go higher than where it is right now, 14%. And I don't quite know if it's both my kidneys or one. I can't quite remember. I have to ask my um, kidney doctor the next time, my nephrologist, the next time I talk to her. But I feel great. I don't have any regrets for the FMT. I know it was going to be a health benefit for me. I pray that anybody else that is interested in understanding it from a personal testimony standpoint, that I gave you some satisfaction. So, with that being said, I love you. And I wrote my email to contact me. I'm busy right now with my dissertation, so if I don't get to you right away, just know I'll be praying. God's gonna say, "Hey, you got to check this email. Check your junk mail. Hey, because somebody wrote you. Hey." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, let me do that. Oh hey yeah, girl. Blah blah blah." Okay. So I'm gonna try to vlog again tomorrow, and if I don't, it'll be Sunday or whatever the next time I get a chance to vlog again. But I care about you. I care about your health. I care about your body. I care about how you take good care of your temple, because your temple is the temple, your body is the temple of the Holy Ghost. And so when you have the temple of the Holy Ghost in you, you walk in God's divine kingdom. You can have whatever you say in the name of Jesus. God will give it to you. It may not be at that moment when you want it, but it'll be right on time when you need it. So I am signing off. This is your education prophet, the one and only Dr. Tara Nicole Harper, and I'm helping you for your information. All right, be sweet. I'll talk to you later. Good night.